Rain lashes against the windows, desperate to break inside. The kitchen is dark, except for the yellow glow from the single lamp over the cold table. John stands by the sink, fists clenched tight. Water drips off the glass, but he doesn't feel it. Susan enters quietly, but there's no softness in her silence, only the steps of someone carrying a storm. She throws her bag on the chair without looking at him. "Where have you been?" His voice is calm, almost too calm, but there's steel beneath every word. She doesn't answer right away, opens the fridge, pulls out a bottle of wine. "I was with a friend," she finally says, pouring herself a glass. "We had dinner." "You're lying." John doesn't raise his voice. "I called her. She said she hasn't seen you in a month." The silence rips through the room. Susan slowly lifts her eyes. "So what? Another interrogation? After 20 years of marriage?" Her tone is sharp, more irritation than fear. "After 20 years of marriage," he steps forward, "I finally stopped being blind." Her eyebrows twitch, but she quickly masks it. "You have no idea what you're talking about." John reaches into the drawer and pulls out an old box. He opens it and throws several yellowed letters, photos, and small trinkets on the table. "I found all this in the last month, and this is just the beginning." Susan looks at the table. One photo shows her young and radiant. "You went through my things," she whispers. "I was trying to find my wife," his voice cracks. "But instead, I found—" John's voice breaks slightly, but he fights to keep control. Susan's face hardens. "You want to know the truth? Fine, but be careful. It might destroy you." John's fists unclench. He takes a shaky breath. "I'm ready." She moves closer, eyes. John shakes his head, disbelief crashing down on him. "Why? Why did you do this to us?" Susan's voice lowers. "Because you stopped seeing me. You became a stranger who only watches, judges. I needed to feel alive again." The room feels colder. John's heart pounds in his ears. "I loved you once. I still do, in some way. But love isn't enough." John's eyes burn with tears he won't let fall. "Then what is this? What am I to you now?" She steps back, distant. "A chapter, one I thought was over." John's world shatters in silence. The rain outside intensifies, echoing the storm inside. Days bleed into nights. John pieces together secrets, overhears half-truths, catches glimpses of a life he never lived. Each revelation cuts deeper, but he holds on, desperate for answers. Susan remains distant, oscillating between defiance and vulnerability. One night, after a screaming match that leaves them both broken, John collapses onto the couch, chest heaving. Susan sits beside him, hesitates, then reaches out. "I'm sorry," she whispers. John closes his eyes, the fight inside him fading into exhaustion. "Maybe we were never meant to be," he murmurs. Susan leans her head on his shoulder, tears finally spilling. The storm outside quiets, but inside the silence screams louder than ever. They sit there in the dim light, broken, bruised, but somehow still together. Not because everything is okay, but because sometimes love is not about perfection. It's about holding on when everything else falls apart.